GOODVITO, Vitaliy, Ugolnikov versus Joe Palacios. A couple of qualified bodybuilders for the Olympia? No. Unfortunately, Joe Palacios placed second here at the Texas Pro. So he did not earn his way onto the Olympia stage, but he did earn his way into our hearts as bodybuilding fans. So did GOODVITO. He is qualified for the Olympia. It's too darn bad we didn't get to see him at the Pittsburgh. I think he really would have did good there. There was absolutely many benefits for him to compete at that show. But anyway, yes. Who's winning this one? I think the sizing is going to be impossible until Joe does another event. I think the sizing of the guys from the Texas, it's makes them look a little bit thicker, I think. And I don't want to upset Joe. Yes, he is huge. He's massive. But is he going to look this big next to GOODVITO? Vito's a pretty big dude. All the way big dude. Little unsymmetrical in the lat. I will say that for GOODVITO. I think everybody noticed that before. Wheel department, GOODVITO, he's going to have an advantage. Upper body could be an advantage to Joe Palacios, but a very small waistline for GOODVITO. Vito winning on the arm department, so, I'd probably give it to him. Joe sure does look big, though, doesn't he? Here's the front lat spread, an easy shot for Joe Palacios. But guys, gals, anybody watching this, the camera is so far down for Joe, so you're going to see the lats a whole lot better, and it is up higher for poor GOODVITO. He's not poor, I'm not saying that. But yeah, it's not a very good angle. But the saving grace here is, hey, this is from the Detroit. Saving grace here is that Joe would win the front lat spread. All wheel department aside, that, yeah, GOODVITO is going to have an edge on that. But look at the upper bodies. Joe's winning. Now turn to the side. It's funny to me, when bodybuilders, they get all this hype from the internet, not from bodybuilding, but Instagram, stuff of that sort. And then they get on stage, everybody's disappointed. So all the excitement sizzles. So I think it's so interesting when a guy like Joe Palacios, he doesn't have any hype. There's no, millions and millions of people watching his Instagrams and he's probably got quite a few, but you know what I mean. He is getting more hype, more people singing his praises just from his bodybuilding showings. And that's awesome. It's like Martin Fitzwater. You had all these big Creezos and Andrew Jacks coming in, and, Martin was riding under the radar, and look at him now. How do you like me now? Okay. Joe Palacios, very thick from the side, and the sizing's going to be even more difficult for this one. Straight-legged is he for GOODVITO. Good detail on the guy. It is a close one. I think this would be a very interesting matchup, to be honest. Now, here's the side tricep. Another debatable one, I would suggest. I think the midsection of GOODVITO looks incredible between the two. I mean, Palacios, not bad at all. It's not a bubble gut. You can even see his nice etched out abs. But GOODVITO, it's just a little bit trimmer, a little bit nicer. Of course, when you look at the hanging hamstring of this man, I wonder who the first person to say that was. Somebody at the Olympia, I bet. Talking about Dennis Wolf, I'm sure. Look at the hamstring hangs. It's a hanging hamstring. And then by Phil Heath's time, it was standard. Now everybody has that in their repertoire. So now that I got that out of the way, very close in the side tricep. I would probably side with GOODVITO, but I don't know. Let's have a look at the back. Ooh, you know what? These two could throw down, and it would be a close matchup. GOODVITO could have an edge in condition, but I don't know. Look at the lower half. Joe looks very solid. And the wheels, they don't look as... I don't want to say he has small legs, Joe. His upper body's a little bit bigger, maybe. The balance is slightly off. Same with Nick Walker, maybe. His shorter legs, anyway. But the condition from behind, and even the size from behind, he looks good in this shot. This is not a bad pose at all. GOODVITO, he's known for his rear lat spread. As we'll see, the rear double not quite as good, but man, this is a potent pose. I was going to say pungent. It has nothing to do with it. Midsection again. I know it's a back shot, but look at how small the midsection is of GOODVITO. Now here's the back double. No questions asked for me. I do like the hourglass shape of GOODVITO. You know, his midsection's so small, and then boom, the wheelbase. And the machine, Joe the Machine, keep on forgetting to call him that. The Machine Palacios, he just doesn't have as good of that area. But look at the lats. They go way down to the lower back. He is defeating GOODVITO, Vitaliy, Ugolnikov in the back double, closer in the rear lat. Might even went with GOODVITO just to make it closer. Just to make it more interesting. No, I wouldn't do that. If I did, I would make another video and change my mind. A flip-flopper. Here is the abs and thigh. Quite possibly GOODVITO's best pose. He has the quads, feathering. Awesome. Midsection, that's a pretty good six-pack. I will tell you that. The lats, are they highly inserted? Compared to Joe's reach all the way down to his midsection, or the little attachments there. You know what I mean? Where a normal human would have a love handle. These guys don't know what body fat means, for goodness sakes. So yeah, I mean, as easy as that rear lat spread, or the rear double, was to make the decision on, Joe was winning. This one, GOODVITO's winning. And here's the most muscular. A close one. There's a lot of these shots that could go either way. You really have to look at the lower half as well, though. And you got to think, GOODVITO's balance might be slightly better than Joe the Machine. You know what's funny? That old saying, it was like a song people used to sing. Gene made a machine. Joe. It was Joe that made it go. But it was Art that let a fart and blew that engine all apart. That's how it ended, I think. Something of that nature. So, close. I think that GOODVITO would get an edge because of the wheels. Maybe the condition. Hard to suggest. But taking nothing away from Joe Palacios, this would be about 60-40 in my little brain. Not that, far away. It's pretty close, but not close enough that I can't make a decision on it. Sometimes I can't, And if you say Joe, hey, thumbs up. And hit thumbs up on the video. Have a great one, folks.